Most footballers are already thinking about retirement by the time they reach their mid-30s. Their speed begins to disappear. Injuries take longer to heal. Younger players start taking their place. But a small group of football legends refused to follow that pattern. Some were still winning major trophies after 35. Others played Champions League football in their 40s. And two of them reached the 2026 World Cup at ages when most professional careers had already been over for years. This ranking is based on longevity, performance, influence and the level of competition they maintained late in their careers. Welcome to Peak Selects. Here are 10 footballers who continued playing at the highest level despite their age. Number 10. Javier Zanetti. Javier Zanetti was not simply a player who survived until the age of 40. He remained one of Inter Milan's most dependable figures for almost 2 decades. Zanetti joined Inter in 1995 and eventually became the club's captain. He was capable of playing as a right back, left back or midfielder, but his most remarkable quality was his physical consistency. Even as younger and faster players entered Serie A, Zanetti rarely looked physically overwhelmed. At 36, he captained Inter during their historic treble-winning season under Jose Mourinho. Inter won Serie A, the Coppa Italia and the Champions League in 2010. Zanetti played the entire Champions League final as Inter defeated Bayern Munich. He eventually retired at the end of the 2013-14 season, aged 40 years and 281 days. By then, he had spent 19 seasons with Inter and established himself as the club's record appearance holder. Zanetti's longevity was not built around avoiding difficult matches. He continued competing in one of Europe's strongest leagues while remaining a respected leader. Number 9. Ryan Giggs. Ryan Giggs made his Manchester United debut as a teenager in 1991. He retired more than 2 decades later at the age of 40. During that period, English football changed completely. The old First Division became the Premier League, tactics evolved, sports science improved and several generations of players arrived and disappeared. Giggs survived all of it. As a young player, he was known for his acceleration, dribbling and ability to attack defenders from the left wing. As he became older, he adapted his game. He moved into central midfield, relied more on passing and positioning, and learned how to control matches without needing the speed he had possessed in his 20s. Giggs made a Manchester United record 963 appearances and won 20 major honours with the club. He was still playing Premier League and Champions League football around his 40th birthday. His career demonstrated an important part of football longevity. Older players cannot always preserve every physical quality, but intelligent players can change how they influence a match. Number 8. Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Zlatan Ibrahimovic spent most of his career acting as though normal rules did not apply to him. Age was no exception. He played for clubs including Ajax, Juventus, Inter Milan, Barcelona, Paris Saint-Germain, Manchester United and AC Milan. After suffering a serious knee injury at Manchester United in his mid-30s, many believed his European career was effectively finished. Zlatan returned, played in Major League Soccer and then moved back to AC Milan at the age of 38. He was not there only for experience or leadership. During the 2020-21 Serie A season, Ibrahimovic became the oldest player to score at least 15 goals in a single Serie A campaign, reaching that total at the age of 39. He later helped Milan win the Serie A title in 2022. In February 2023, at 41 years and 146 days old, he became Milan's oldest Serie A player of the 3 points for a win era. Injuries reduced his playing time near the end, but simply returning to one of Europe's major leagues and contributing to a championship-winning team at that age was exceptional. Number 7. Pepe. Playing as a central defender at the highest level requires concentration, strength, timing and the ability to survive against much younger attackers. Pepe continued doing it after turning 40. The Portuguese defender had already built an elite career with Porto, Real Madrid and the Portuguese national team. But his final seasons created some of his most unusual records. In the 2023-24 Champions League, Pepe became the oldest outfield player ever to appear in the competition. He was 41 years and 15 days old when he played for Porto against Arsenal in the round of 16. He also became the oldest goalscorer in Champions League history, scoring for Porto against Antwerp and later extending his own record against Shakhtar Donetsk. Pepe then represented Portugal at Euro 2024. At 41 years and 130 days, he became the oldest player ever to appear at a European Championship. This was not ceremonial participation. Portugal trusted him in major tournament knockout matches against elite opposition. Number 6. Luka Modric. Luka Modric's game was never based only on strength or speed. It was based on awareness. His ability to understand space, escape pressure and control the rhythm of a match allowed him to remain effective long after most midfielders begin declining. At 37, Modric helped Croatia reach the semi-finals of the 2022 World Cup. At 38, he was still playing major matches for Real Madrid and Croatia. In 2024, he helped Real Madrid win another Champions League title. At 38 years and 266 days, he became the second oldest player to win the competition, behind only Paolo Maldini. Later that summer, Modric scored against Italy at Euro 2024. He was 38 years and 289 days old, making him the oldest goalscorer in European Championship history. Even close to 40, Modric was still being trusted to dictate matches for two teams with enormous expectations. His longevity came from technical precision, decision-making and the ability to remain calm when everyone around him was moving faster. Number 5. Gianluigi Buffon. Goalkeepers usually have longer careers than outfield players. But Gianluigi Buffon's career was extraordinary even by goalkeeping standards. He made his Serie A debut for Parma in 1995, when he was only 17 years old. He continued playing professional football until 2023. That means Buffon's senior career lasted across 4 different decades. He won the 2006 World Cup with Italy, collected numerous league titles with Juventus and remained involved in Champions League football into his 40s. In December 2020, Buffon started for Juventus against Barcelona at the age of 42 years and 315 days. He kept a clean sheet as Juventus won 3-0 at Camp Nou. That appearance made him the second oldest player in Champions League history at the time. Buffon eventually returned to Parma, the club where his career had started, and continued playing until the age of 45. Very few players have experienced football at the highest level for as long as he did. Number 4. Paolo Maldini. Paolo Maldini played his entire senior career for AC Milan. His first team debut came in 1985. His final match came in 2009. Across those 24 years, Maldini faced different generations of the world's best attackers and remained one of football's most respected defenders. He began as an athletic left-back before gradually moving into central defense. That transition helped extend his career, but technique and intelligence were equally important. Maldini rarely needed reckless challenges because his positioning allowed him to anticipate danger. At 36, he scored after only 53 seconds in the 2005 Champions League final against Liverpool, making him the oldest goalscorer in a European Cup or Champions League final. 2 years later, Milan faced Liverpool again. This time, Maldini captained Milan to a 2-1 victory and lifted the Champions League trophy at 38 years and 331 days old. He remains the oldest player to win the competition. Maldini eventually retired at 41 after making more than 900 appearances for Milan. He did not merely extend his career, he remained a reference point for elite defending until the end. Number 3. Dino Zoff. Dino Zoff produced one of the greatest late-career achievements in football history. The Italian goalkeeper was already 40 years old when he captained his country at the 1982 World Cup. Italy began the tournament slowly, drawing all 3 group matches. But they improved as the competition progressed, defeating Argentina, Brazil and Poland before facing West Germany in the final. Zoff started every match. He was not simply an older captain providing leadership from the bench. He was Italy's first-choice goalkeeper throughout the tournament. Italy won the final 3-1, making Zoff the oldest player ever to win the World Cup. That record still stands. Zoff then continued playing for Juventus. At 41 years and 86 days, he appeared in the 1983 European Cup final, becoming the oldest player ever to play in a European Cup or Champions League final. Winning football's biggest international trophy as a 40-year-old captain places Zoff in a category that almost no player has approached. Number 2. Cristiano Ronaldo. For most players, reaching 40 means their professional career has been over for several years. Cristiano Ronaldo was still scoring decisive international goals. At 40, Ronaldo played in the 2025 UEFA Nations League final against Spain. He scored Portugal's equaliser and became the first player over 40 to both appear and score in a Nations League final. Portugal later won the trophy on penalties. Then came the 2026 World Cup. Ronaldo entered the tournament at 41 years old and became its oldest outfield player. Against Uzbekistan, he scored twice at the age of 41 years and 138 days. In doing so, he became the first male footballer to score in 6 different World Cups. By July 2026, Ronaldo had also reached a world record 146 international goals and 233 appearances for Portugal. His game changed over time. The explosive winger who attacked defenders at Manchester United became a complete forward at Real Madrid and later evolved into a penalty box striker who relied on movement, timing and finishing. Ronaldo's commitment to physical preparation allowed him to compete internationally more than 20 years after his Portugal debut. In terms of pure physical longevity, there is a strong argument that he should be number 1. But in this ranking, one player narrowly takes the top position. Number 1. Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi's longevity looks different from Ronaldo's. He does not depend on aerial power or constant sprinting. His game is built around balance, control, vision, passing and an ability to identify spaces before defenders recognize them. Those qualities allowed him to continue deciding major matches as he approached 40. Messi entered the 2026 World Cup at the age of 38 and celebrated his 39th birthday during the tournament. This was his 6th World Cup. During the group stage, he became the oldest player to score a hat-trick in World Cup history, achieving the feat at 38 years and 357 days. Messi continued scoring in the knockout rounds after turning 39. His goal against Cape Verde made him the oldest South American player to score in the knockout stage of a World Cup. By the quarter-final stage, Messi had reached 21 career World Cup goals and scored 8 times in the 2026 tournament alone. What makes his longevity exceptional is not simply that he was still present. Argentina continued building its attack around him. Even at 39, Messi could receive the ball under pressure, eliminate defenders, create chances and finish moves at the highest international level. He had already completed football's most successful individual career, but he continued producing historic performances rather than treating the final years as a farewell tour. That combination of age, technical influence and continued World Cup production places Lionel Messi at number 1. These players proved that age does not end a football career by itself. Some survived by adapting their position, some changed their playing style, others maintained unusual physical standards for decades, but all 10 remained relevant long after most players would have retired. Which player had the most impressive longevity? Subscribe to Peak Selects for more football rankings and stories.